How did you use media technologies in the construction and research planning and evaluation stages? For my Year 2 coursework, I worked in the video and print medium to produce a music video and ancillary products for local Sheffield band Blood Tango and their song Shout. These products are quite a mainstream target audience in terms of the Indian rock subculture, as this is a very popular genre of music amongst my audience demographic of 14 to 13-year-old and not gender specific. However, the audience demographic was also quite niche in consideration of the band, as they are a local unsigned band from Sheffield, so aren't fully established. The products essentially targeted the digital native audience, the generation born after the introduction of digital technologies. Therefore, I was able to use these technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages of my media production in order to encode a preferred meaning to denote the band's music to our intended audience demographic. Bennett, Jones and McDougall said that all students should identify a clear audience and plan how the artifact will be tested during the planning process. In terms of digital technologies, we are able to identify our clear audience demographic through the construction of an imaginary entity which suited our target audience as it reflects our own personalities and interests. Being members of the subculture we were aiming to target, it wasn't too difficult to construct an imaginary entity using Adobe Photoshop Elements in which we anchored images and text that represented our target subculture. Hartley also suggests that institutions must produce invisible fictions of the audience which allow the institutions to get a sense of who they must enter into relations with, suggesting how we had to know our audience to target them effectively. By constructing an imaginary entity, we became more and more familiar with the target subculture, and so we were able to construct our media products to suit them effectively. Clark et al. State that in media industries, it is important to carry out regular audience research using methods such as ratings collection, questionnaires, surveys, screen tests, etc., to ensure that we maintain the attention of our specific audience through the mediation of our video and ancillary products. We were able to continuously consider the opinions of our target audience through the use of websites such as Facebook and Twitter in convergence with Fluid Surveys. We constructed multiple surveys on Fluid Surveys with both open and closed questions in order to gain both quantitative and qualitative feedback, which we could then use to manipulate our product to suit the target audience. Digital technologies therefore allow us to target the consumer through the use of the internet. We had easy access to our audience as they are digital natives and are therefore faced with digital social media in their everyday lives. Pete Fraser suggests that creativity is brilliant, but the key to a strong media coursework project is professionalism and organisation. I was able to keep a good degree of professionalism and organisation throughout my music video project through my use of digital technologies, in particular through my use of a blog on Posters, an example of Web 2.0 technology, meaning that the technology is interactive, also described as a more interactive, collaborative and user-generated social web by Michael Wesch in the video The Machine is Us, Using Us. By using this, I was able to keep all my work in one place, which made the production of my music video a lot easier as I was able to locate specific pieces of work that I needed to refer back to in order to ensure I was following my initial plans for the product, as well as considering the audience feedback I received during the pre-production stage. Bennett, Slater and Wall suggested that all media production takes place in light of other media production, connoting how our music video and ancillary products were modelled on existing music videos, digipacks and posters to ensure they looked realistic and professional. We were therefore able to create a preferred meaning by encoding common codes and conventions of existing real media text in order to sell the products to an audience. This was only made possible through the use of digital technologies at the stage of pre-production, as we were able to use Web 2.0 technologies such as YouTube to watching existing music videos, which then allowed us to gather ideas for our own video, as well as helping us to gain a better understanding of the codes and conventions of music videos. This also allowed us to gain a better understanding of the mise-en-scène such as costume and iconography, which it would be good to include in our video and ancillary products in order to encode the indie genre and therefore appeal to the intended subculture. Sonderland suggests that to make any media product, equipment and personnel are needed, also linking with the idea of scheduling. For our music video, a clear location and organisation of correct personnel were vital, using call sheets and production schedules in order to maintain the organisation of our coursework project to ensure it was completed on time and to a professional standard. This held many advantages in relation to our project. We knew what shots we needed to get on specific occasions, which made filming a lot easier, and we were therefore able to avoid wasting time. Using different filming locations or occasions meant that we could organise them into sets, thus making it a lot easier to find specific shots within all of our Adobe Premiere project files due to their better organisation, and it also allowed us to complete the final video ahead of schedule, which meant we had a lot more time to improve any aspects of the video that weren't as good, as well as spending more time working on our ancillary products to ensure that there was a strong relationship between all of the products. However, there were also disadvantages to scheduling all of our coursework production, such as the fact that it was very difficult to plan ahead as to what filming opportunities we would be faced with due to the other commitments of the band members, as well as how it could be difficult to get specific shots of the band on stage, as it was difficult to determine how they would perform and what camera angles we would be able to use. The importance of the use of call sheets and production schedules was really emphasised during this project, as without them we would not have been able to make the most of all the time we had, nor would we have been able to maintain a well-organised coursework project. We were able to link our use of call sheets and production schedules with our use of digital technologies by posting them to our blogs, which meant that we could refer back to them at any time to see what we should be doing and when and where we should be doing it. In relation to scheduling, the communication between personnel was also vital, but it was very important that we could communicate with each other about plans for the video, but also with the band members to make sure we were okay to film at certain times. It's often very difficult to manage who is where and who is doing what when doing a coursework project to ensure everybody is available at one time due to different commitments and college timetables, so it's vital to maintain good communication in order to organise and schedule filming. However, through the use of digital technologies, we were able to maintain this as we set up a group page on Facebook which included us and the band members, which meant that each member of the group would be notified if somebody posted something suggesting a time or location to film. This made the planning of our video production a lot easier, as we were able to discuss things without other people interfering or without any of the band members not seeing it. During the production of our coursework project, we had access to a range of different hardware that we were able to use at the construction and research planning and evaluation stages. During the research and planning stages, we took initial photography using a Canon EOS SLR camera, which enabled us to take good quality shots that we used to get an idea as to which style of photography would be most beneficial to making our ancillary products. This also allowed us to gain a better understanding of the composition and framing of photography in terms of shot types, which we were then able to apply to our final photography that we used for our digipacks and poster. Using a Canon EOS SLR camera meant that we had to learn how to focus using a detachable lens and how we could achieve shallow depth of field easily with this type of camera, which meant that we were then able to conduct our photography to a more professional standard, which meant we could target our audience with our products more effectively. Filmmaker and designer Mark House details that digital video, or DV, to be one of the most important advancements in motion picture technology since television. Film and video production is now not only conducted by rich film companies, but it can be done in the home owing to cheap software and hardware, thus allowing the idea of the audience as producer. For our music video production, the main piece of hardware needed to capture footage was the Canon MD101 and Sony Allegro mini DV cameras, in which we inserted a mini DV tape into the mechanism and then captured the footage in Adobe Premiere Pro CS3 in real time, although it can be captured up to 4 times the speed of real time. These cameras are really small and easy to use and transport, so it meant we could go to different filming locations without difficulty, and we didn't have to waste time setting up bigger cameras that are more difficult to use. These cameras allowed us to capture good quality footage with different shot types, angles, composition, and elements such as depth of field, which therefore gave us the ability to create a professional and good quality music video that would effectively target the indie subculture. In terms of the audio, the song Shout that we used for the music video had already been pre-recorded by the band, so we didn't have to worry about waiting and wasting time getting this recorded. This made the audio very easy to work with as it was readily available, so after we had started capturing footage, we were able to sync it to the audio straight away by importing both video and audio into Adobe Premiere Pro CS3. Although we didn't need to do so, to record separate audio, we could have used Zoom H2 handy microphones, which are versatile and act when attached to a boom pole as a boom microphone. Had we not already had access to the song for our music video, we could have used these microphones to record the audio, Although if not done in a recording studio where the best sound quality can be achieved, it is possible that the recording would not have been of very good quality. During our media coursework production, we also had access to different software that we were able to use especially for the production and post-production of our music video and ancillary products. However, at the pre-production stage, we were able to use software such as Windows Movie Maker, which is a simple video editing program, which allowed us to put together short videos to denote our research into existing real media text, and to also prepare us for using other video editing software in the production and post-production stages of our coursework. This briefly introduced us to timelines, transitions, and the layering of audio over images and video, which we then became more and more familiar with further into our project. Adobe Premiere Pro CS3 is the most widely used professional software for DV editing, and it can be found in light versions on most computers that have capture functions. As we had access to the full version of this software, we had the ability to use a variety of tools and editing techniques in order to create a professional and realistic product to a high standard. We edited footage and a timeline which enhanced our knowledge of layering video and audio together that was far superior to Windows Movie Maker. Using a non-linear editing software allowed us to edit footage, with the most popular edits we made being cutaways or crosscuts, which are continuity editing techniques used to allow audiences to experience parallel action of events or receive more information in order to construct a narrative. We use these techniques in our music video in order to denote the band to the audience by showing shots of them backstage, which allowed the audience to get to know the band more, creating a personal identity for them, whilst also denoting the band performing on stage, portraying the lead singer especially as an ideal self or ideal partner, and connoting the idea of the star persona. To cut our footage, we used the Razor tool, which can be found in the tool window on Premiere. We were able to set in and out points to edit the footage more closely and to get rid of any footage that wasn't very good. Zooming in on the timeline allowed us to sync the audio with the visuals more effectively, as we were able to do so more accurately and precisely. This meant our video looked more professional on a whole, as it was well synced and therefore appeared more realistic, as it gave the sense that the lead singer was singing there and then. Although we didn't have access to any special effects software packages such as Adobe After Effects, we heavily utilised the video effects and video transition bins in Premiere, allowing us to apply different editing techniques to make our video more aesthetically interesting. Quite a lot of our video was converted into black and white, which is found in the video effects bin, which we applied in order to encode the indie genre and to follow the common codes and conventions of music videos of this style, thus appealing to the target audience. We were also able to use Premiere in convergence with Photoshop Elements in order to create our own effects, as the ideas we had for the editing of our video weren't available in the software we were using. We created a blank file in Photoshop Elements with a black background, to which we applied a lens flare tool under the render option in order to recreate the effects used in videos produced by Futures, especially in their Sal Paradise video. This effect gave connotations of the star persona again, therefore connoting the band as role models and people their audience can look up to, as it appears like a spotlight, which also allows the audience to construct a narrative relating to the band's new success. We produced our ancillary products using Adobe Photoshop Elements 9, which is easy to use due to its simple layout and wide catalogue of tools. This allowed the editing of photographs to make them look more professional by using tools such as the Burn tool, which allowed us to make the background of certain photographs darker to ensure the focus was the band members, rather than what it was in the background. Also, as we used Photoshop Elements to create effects for our music video, we were able to apply these effects to our ancillary products, such as the lens flare tool, which created a strong relationship between our main products and ancillary products, creating an identity for the band. Overall, the use of digital technologies proved to be vital to producing a strong coursework project, as it allowed us to produce a professional and realistic music video and ancillary products, which targeted the indie subculture effectively.